Shalom, shalom. This is Yael. I want to make this very quick video. I want you to turn with me, if you will, to Deuteronomy chapter 30. And I just want to focus on verse 2 because I have been seeing a lot of people post this lately and be asking the questions, focusing on this right here. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 2. And thou shalt return unto Jehovah thy Elohim, and thou shalt obey his voice according to all that I have commanded thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul. And what I have seen many do, they focus on verse 2 and they focus on this three-letter word. This three-letter word, all. And they are saying that we are people that are non-Messianic, those that do not believe in the New Testament or believe in the New Testament Messiah. They are non-Messianics. And this verse, Deuteronomy chapter 30, 1 through 3, is an indictment against us because we are not keeping all of the commandments. And I have been trying to tell people that all of the commandments is kept corporately by the whole of Israel, but all the commandments is not for one individual to carry out. And what I mean by that is there are commandments that govern the women. As a man, I do not focus on the commandments that govern the women of Israel. I don't worry about that. I don't have monthly cycles, so I do not have to worry about that. I do not give childbirth. And there are laws that govern what the sisters are to do at childbirth. I don't focus on that. There are commandments that are for the priesthood. That is for the high priest. That wasn't for all of Israel to keep. There's commandments that deal with the king. I'm not a king, so I do not worry about those commandments that govern the king. If I'm not doing them, I do not see myself as being sinful before the eyes of Yah, because that command do not govern me, because I am not a king. So we have to understand all of Israel is to keep that which is written within the commands that govern them. There are some commands that govern all of Israel, like keeping Sabbath. All of Israel is to keep Sabbath. That's not something for just the men to do, for the kings to do, for the priests to do, for the sisters, daughters of Israel to do. That is for the whole of Israel to do. It's certain commands that governs Israel corporately. Then there's some things that govern a certain group within Israel. Like no matter how faithful you want to be to the commandments of God, if you are a woman, you cannot circumcise yourself. Let's just be real. You do not have the male productive organ. So you cannot circumcise the foreskin, because that command is for the men. You cannot have a circumcision. So women, you can't keep that commandment. So that's just the bottom line. We have to understand what is for us to keep, and keep all of them to the best of our abilities. But I don't worry about the commandments that govern women, because I'm not a woman, so I do not worry about them commandments. I do not focus on the commandments of the king. Yes, they are important to know, But I do not feel like, oh, y'all is so upset with me because I didn't keep this commandment. But he said the kings are to make a copy of the Torah for themselves. Now, I could write the Torah, and plus me and my wife, it was just a quick sidebar, me and my wife have a challenge to write the Torah. And we get it from this portion in the Torah, but the actual commandment is that Yah is telling for the kings to write themselves a copy. We just thought it would be nice to do. So yes, it's certain things we can do from the Torah, but I still was not commanded. The whole of Israel was not commanded to write a copy of the Torah. The king was. So if I do not complete that task, I cannot look at it as a sin because I am not governed by that instructions. The kings of Israel is governed by that. So I'm not an agricultural. I'm not a farmer. So I do not look at the commands that say or how you should not trim away the lower side of the vine or the crop that leave that for the strangers and the widows and leave that for people less fortunate than you. I'm not an agricultural. I'm not a farmer. I do not worry about that simply because I do not fall under that because I am not a farmer. I do not have crops to worry about and to know am I violating that. No, I'm not violating that because he didn't command everybody to be farmers. So I'm not breaking that by not being a farmer. So I focus on that which governs me. And on everything that governs me, I strive to keep all of them. Not everything written within the book of the law, because we could plainly see if we take the time to read the book of the law, there are some commandments that just do not govern me. That, to be honest, do not even govern you. So I'm trying to understand why people love to throw this at non-Messianics or people that will not accept their Messiah, that they have accepted as Messiah. If we do not accept their Messiah, now we're destined to go to hell. We're destined to burn in the lake of fire because now that which is supposed to keep us, we're not doing because we're not keeping all the commandments. But there's some commandments that we simply cannot keep. I cannot keep the commandment of planting a tree in the land because I'm not in the land. So I cannot walk outside my door here in Georgia and plant a tree and say I just fulfilled the commandment. But Yah said to plant a tree. He's talking about planting a tree. Not here in America, but planting a tree in the land. And that land is the land of Israel. So I'm not fulfilling that commandment if I plant a tree in my backyard. So I do not focus on things like that. I'm not saying they're relevant to those who fall under it. But that is not a command because we find in Torah where Yah command every Israelite to plant a tree where regardless of where they are at in the world. That's not there. So I don't worry on focusing on things that do not pertain to me. I still teach it because we should still share the Torah. We should let people know. People should strive to know what is the Torah, what is the instructions of Yah, even if it falls under falls under something that you are to keep. I like to keep. I focus on keeping that which governs me. The whole of Torah does not govern me simply because I'm not a woman. So them things that go to a woman, I do not focus on keeping. And some of it's impossible for me to keep because I'm not a woman. So I don't worry about that. I don't focus on the things on being a king, the commands he gave a king. I'm not a king. It's just, we need to deal with reality here. We can all keep the Sabbath. That governs the whole of Israel. The holy days governs Israel. So we have to understand that which govern you is the all that you are required to keep. That which do not govern you, you cannot keep. Even though you can't keep it, it's still not for you. So you should never feel that if you do not keep it, that you're somehow walking in unrighteousness, or you're showing disrespect towards Yah because you will not keep it. It's simply because it does not govern you. And as I said before, I do not focus on that which do not govern me. My hands are very full with focusing and striving to keep that which does govern me as an Israelite. So I just wanted to make this video. I went a little bit over than what I wanted to, but I think it's very important that we need to understand these things. But somebody said, do you keep all the commandments? And they say Jesus kept all the commandments. I'd be like, no, he didn't. No, he did. They were like, how dare you say Jesus didn't keep all the commandments? He did keep all the commandments. I said, okay, show me where Jesus fulfilled the commandments of a woman on her menstrual cycle and a woman on giving birth to a male child or a female child. Show me when he kept that commandment. Show me when he kept the commandment of being in agriculture and letting his crop grow and not gleaning from the bottom of it, but leaving it for the strangers and people less fortunate to get. Show me where he wrote a copy of the Torah as a king. You can't. So you might as well go ahead and stop that. That's nonsense for you that believe in Jesus to say that he kept all the commandments, because he didn't. And if he kept all the commandments, then something is seriously wrong if he kept the commandments of a woman on her menstrual cycle or giving birth to a male and female child. So we just need to understand. We got to stop being so zealous that we say things that is so illogical to prove our point. We need to know what the law is and what it teaches and what governs us today. There are some things that we do not fall under simply because we're not in the land. It's some things that do not fall upon us because we are not the individuals that law is targeting. So we must understand the whole law so we can know what applies to us and what doesn't. And just because it doesn't apply to us doesn't make it something that we shouldn't be concerned about. It's just something that doesn't apply to us. It's still holy, righteous, and good. It's just that Yah does not require certain people to do it. So I'm finna leave it that right there. So this is your brother, Yael Ezra Ben Levi. Shalom, love, and blessings.